Alright, action RPG players, let's go ahead and check out Dungeon of Exile. This is a brand new action RPG that's got a lot of cool elements, and I'm here to go ahead and show you guys kind of the rundown of the game. So here's our inventory. There's a lot of cool, epic pieces of gear that have cool effects, like this Bard's hat. I like this one. When we actually kill an enemy, it explodes for true damage up to 10% of its maximum HP. That's kind of a cool one, but right now I got this one that's giving us 50% attack speed, which that's pretty massive in an action RPG. We also have a bunch of different skills. Here's my build. It's mainly relying on Ice Arrow to slow enemies down. Then we can get like bonuses if the enemy is affected by our crowd control, and then we also get like bonuses if we happen to get a crit. We get an additional amount of movement speed, which is key in this game, so you can dodge the enemies, specifically the boss attacks. And then we have our ultimate skill. So let me go ahead and just run into a dungeon so you guys can kind of see the gameplay of this game. It's oriented around being kind of like a light dungeon experience, so kind of like hop in, hop out sort of a gameplay here. So if you've ever played any of these survivor sort of games, you're going to feel right at home. Your goal is basically to move around and not get hit, but you obviously have itemization and you can build your character. There are different classes, but obviously we've got to lock in one of my favorites, the Ranger or Archer playstyle. But we have these abilities over here, and they automatically activate and will aim for us, but basically we don't want to stand in the AoE. How it works is it's similar to if you've played Path of Exile, kind of like a random map that you're going into. There's also massacre bonuses, but similar to Diablo, you're going to be filling up this bar in the top left, and once the bar is filled all the way up, you're going to be fighting a boss. And the boss will be definitely a little bit more challenging, but basically you just don't stand in the AoE and you're going to be good to go. You also have a potion, but I've got regen in my build, which if you're playing any build, highly can recommend that because the potion does have a cooldown. I'll just pop it here. You can see it's got a 30-second cooldown, but our goal is basically to not get hit. If you do see any chests, you can pick them up by just hovering over them. There's like a little duration. We are playing this on PC, but this is oriented around a quick mobile-like experience. So if you want to hop in and hop out, that's kind of like the way that it is designed. And we'll see if we can get the boss to spawn in pretty soon. And over here, this is what I was talking about with the little chest. You just stand over it, and then you're going to get the loot in a second here. And then we don't really need to pop the potion. But if you take damage, your HP is in green, and then the one underneath is your mana, and your skills will consume it, but you can actually use your other skills to increase the amount of mana that you do get. The itemization's pretty easy to see in terms of like item score. However, just because it has a higher like number gear score, it does not always mean that it's going to be better. But you can see over in the top left of the minimap, you can see where the elites are indicated by the skull, and they may have other modifiers, just like other action RPG games. But again, your whole goal is basically just focusing in around not getting hit. So that's why I was mentioning like the survivor sort of games. But here is the boss, and because I have a decent amount of movement speed in the build, it should be pretty easy. We shouldn't get hit by any of them. But again, we have regen in the build on our tree. And we also have a pet. The pet can actually kind of act as a loot filter too, because the pet will pick up items, and you can make it so it salvages things that are like normal rarity. So that way you don't have to sift through like junk items, which I actually think is a quite nice addition. But we're just going to keep on strafing. And the boss is almost down. Nice, we got him. We just reached level 27, which will give us another skill point over here. And we actually got another crossbow. Let's see if it's any good. Now, just because it has like the up arrow, again, you want to read your gear usually, just like in any other action RPG. So over here, we just got this upgrade. So it increases crit rate, by 15%. And what's cool here, you can see the stat details. So if you want to check like your resistances, your damages, what's your crit strike chance, you can see our crit rate right now is 30. I actually do want to get a lot of crit, because one thing that I do really like getting in this build is specifically focus, because it gives us increased crit rate, and it gives us haunt. Haunt, after we land a crit, we will be getting additional attack speed, and I'll probably put more points in this, but I really want it for that additional move speed, because if you played any action RPG, movement speed is huge for progression. And then this is our ultimate skill. You can also respec, as far as I'm aware of, you can just respec on the fly, so that is quite nice. There are a lot of NPCs in the town, and you're going to unlock these as you kind of progress. Like the pet unlocks as you progress a little bit earlier on, and then we do have the gems over here. And if we want to go ahead and click on the gem NPC, you can see you can slot in gems in your pieces of gear. Like our necklace will give us damage, whereas in the shoulders it will give us HP. So you can see these will unlock later, but at least this way you guys can see kind of the later stages of the game. After you play for a little bit, you're going to have this. There's also other NPCs, but I just want to give you guys a quick introduction to this game. There's still a lot more to discover with this game. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out the game, I will put it linked down below. But big shouts to Dungeon of Exile for sponsoring this video, as I love checking out action RPGs. And then this game, I will definitely be playing it even after my sponsored content. I'll still be playing it just to check out what else it has, because I like these sort of games. There is other things that you guys got to make sure that you claim. Like there's a lot of stuff that, like, you know, just like other video games, make sure you claim these, as this is going to be part of your progression to unlocking more gem sockets in your pieces of gear. These will cost lots of gold, but the gold they give you in game, they will give you a bunch in the very beginning. So this is how you can get some of your progression as well. And then obviously, as you complete more dungeons and more difficulties, you will unlock more things that have kind of like these little thresholds, and we're going to be unlocking advanced forging. So I'm really excited to see what the itemization looks like, as genuinely there is some cool stuff. Like this explode thing is awesome. That is a really good stat that I may want to keep, even though like the other thing has more combat power. It'll also give us 50% attack speed. So reading your gear is important. Don't just look at the numbers, which is something that I can respect. I like that idea in an action RPG. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and play more. Let me know, guys, if you have played the game, what you think of it. But as a mobile game, I think that is kind of cool that you can hop in and out. And like I said, I'm playing this on PC. So you can use WASD to move, which is another great addition. But anyways, I'm going to get back to more DOE. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below, and check out the game if you want to in the link down below.